Merry Christmas, morons of Moorhead. I wanted to use this special day to make a important and special announcement to the league, and also just it's Christmas is a time of year of reflecting back on the past and uh, just respecting the past. So I wanted to look back on the league and congratulate Jared on being the fifth champion of the Moorhead Morons Fantasy Football League. Congrats, Jared. We're all really happy for you. Um, you've got a championship under your belt, so now if you just had some eyebrows, you'd have a lot going for you. Um, I also wanted to, since it's Christmas, just kind of fill you guys in on my loot that I collected from Santa today. So you can see on my head, I've got this Buffalo Bills winter hat. I'm actually going to take it off and show you real quick because it's kind of nice. It's got insulation on the inside, very warm, almost too warm to be wearing right now, so I'm going to toss it over here. I think you briefly saw there little red, white, and blue Buffalo Bills gloves as well. Very nice. Um, Also, sticking with the Bills theme, got this little Bluetooth mascot mini speaker. Pretty nice, gets pretty loud. I was going to play music through it while I was doing this, but apparently you can't play music while you are making a video because it turns the sound off. Also, I'm sure you guys knew I was going to get some Switch games, but I got, if anybody's looking to get their ass pasted, Noah, go ahead and get a copy of Mario Tennis Aces because I'm going to be practicing at that here pretty soon and we'll be looking to paste some ass. I also got a little less common game, I guess, Fire Emblem. Played one of the games on my Game Boy SP when I was in like middle school. Actually, pretty fun games, and nobody's played them. Maybe check this out. Also, for those of you that played Smash, a lot of the characters are on here. Um, you can see Marth, Roy, uh, Robin, Lucinda. Those ones, some good Smash characters on here. Good game. And then my parents also got me Donkey Kong Country digital copy. It's downloading on the Switch right now. Can play that later. Unfortunately, since that's digital, I won't be able to loan it out to anybody in the Switch fam. But as far as Mario Tennis and Fire Emblem go, after a couple months, once I've played them and have gotten my share in, if anybody in the Nintendo fam wants to rent those out or borrow them, hit me up. Rental fee is just like $10 a day, so just let me know if you're looking to borrow one of those. Um, Also, last thing is a vintage Marshawn Lynch Buffalo Bills jersey. Pretty pumped about that for the collection. Love Beast Mode. Great guy. Glad to have it. And that's pretty much the majority of the stuff. So I guess we can kind of hop into some other things now. So before I make this announcement, I wanted to just kind of talk a little history with everybody. It might seem a little off topic, but it all wraps back around. So just bear with me here. I think we're all aware that there have been 45 presidents of the United States now. I think that's what they call Trump, 45. But actually, there have only been 44 different presidents because I think it was like Grover Cleveland or one of those guys he was the 22nd president and then skipped a term and was also the 24th president. So he counts as both. So there have been 44 different men who have been president of the United States. Um, of those 44 men, 43 of them were elected by majority vote from the Electoral College. However, one of them, the first president actually, uh, George Washington, I guess he was still elected, but for the sake of this whole thing that I'm doing, it's different because he was the only president to receive unanimous, complete, all of the votes from the Electoral College. Um, and that's never happened before since then. So it's basically no vote was needed. Everybody knew that George Washington was going to be the first president, and it's really because of the times demanded for it. There's a huge void in the United States after the Revolutionary War. They were stepping on new territory. They're establishing a democracy that hadn't been done in this way before, and they had plans. Obviously, they wouldn't have just jumped into the Revolutionary War and started killing people if they didn't have some plan of what they wanted, but still, they hadn't been there before. They had to figure it out, and they needed somebody that fit the job to get the country rolling. And honestly, George Washington didn't even want to be president. He was pushed into it by his peers, by the people, by the founding fathers. Everybody knew that he was the guy for the job. And so that kind of leads me to just like how the United States of America had a void in their leadership after the Revolutionary War was over. The Moorhead Morons Fantasy Football League has recently been hit with a huge Randy-sized void. And by this time, we've all had time to kind of reflect on Randy's decision, and we've heard him speak on it, and I think we understand where he's coming from, and we respect what he's doing with his life. But it doesn't change the fact that Randy's been a huge part of our league. He was one of the founding members, and I don't think anybody would really argue with me in saying that nobody's probably been more passionate over the last 5 years in the league on a consistent basis for fantasy football than Randy has. The guy is just, he eats, sleeps, breathes, I forget the saying, but just passion just seeps out of his pores, and that's been huge for the league. It obviously, passion for a fantasy football league that carries on over multiple years like this is extremely important, and losing that passion kind of puts our league in a little bit of a it hurts the league is what I'm saying. And so we have that void. It must be filled. This is a pivotal time, a pivotal move to find a replacement. It's not like when we made an expansion and we were just looking for 2 extra guys to hop into the league, although I'm very glad that Kyle joined. He's added a ton of passion, but it's different than back then. This is important because we've lost one of our brothers, and we need to fill it with another brother who will bring that passion back into the league. Randy, I don't think you understand how sad I am to have you go. I've loved having you in the league. I've loved pasting your ass in most of the matchups that we've had. Actually, I don't know that I've ever beat you in a fantasy football matchup. You usually destroy me, but I'm gonna miss that. Honestly, I hate that it was you that left. I wish it was Lucas, but we got to take what's handed to us. Okay, it's kind of like the dad on Lord of the Rings. I think is Denethor, maybe, I forget what his name is, but the king of Minas Tirith, where he tells his son Faramir to his face that he wishes that he would have died instead of Boromir. That's how I feel right now. Lucas, I wish it was you. I hate that it was Randy, but we just got to move on as a league. So anyways, going back to the whole passion thing that I was speaking on and the void, I think it's obvious that only one person can fill that void, or nobody can fill the void that Randy left, but only one person can come close and can give our league the passion that it needs and rejuvenate us going into our 6th season next year. And that person is obviously Jordan Clevenger. And I think that if ever there was a time for me to just throw the rules out for shit and say, hey, there's no reason to have a vote. It's disrespectful to have a vote because nobody deserves to be in this league more than JWoww.